PMAC back, and I have a little time currently, so I wanted to go ahead and make a PMAC movies video here, not a haul. So I want to talk about, and I don't have anything kind of planned out here, but just kind of off the cuff, I guess you could say, video. Somebody in the comment section asked what my favorite movie format is, and it's definitely Blu-ray. And I want to get into why that is, why I prefer. I'm starting to realize more and more that, you know, if you can only have one version of a movie between Blu-ray and 4K, and you know, not every case, but definitely in probably a majority of cases, it may very well be the Blu-ray. And we'll take a look at that. So, you know, we're not really looking at VHS. I didn't collect VHS, but I want to look more at DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. So I started collecting movies back in, I would say, 2004. So, you know, it was DVDs for a few years, and then Blu-ray came out, I believe, a little bit after I graduated college there. So I've been buying Blu-rays since they came out. Now, the picture quality from DVD to Blu-ray, I feel like, was a real obvious jump. You're going from like standard definition to HD, very obvious jump. Now, TVs back then, even more so entry-level TVs, I believe were more expensive from what I remember back then. I mean, my first HD TV was a 32-inch Vizio, and I believe it was about $650 back then, and it would have been like 2007, 2008 range. I mean, now you can get a decent 32-inch TV probably for, I don't know, $100 maybe, like pretty cheap. Like a smart TV now. Back then they weren't smart TVs. But you know, the jump in quality, just amazing. Now, initial Blu-rays tended to be not great. I mean, there was some that were very, very good, but definitely a big upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray, especially as things went on a little bit longer and they got better with the technology and the transfers. I'm not even sure exactly. When did 4K start? It must have been, let's see, when was the first 4K Blu-ray release? Let's see. Reveal complete. So 2015 is when they came up with it, and then it says the first 4K discs were released 2016. So if I had to guess, I would have actually said a little bit after that. I probably would have said like 2018 or something. So I mean, they've been doing it for a while, and I thought like the 3D discs, I thought it was going to be kind of just another fad. I didn't think there'd really be much market for it. But the issue I have with 4K discs is several. I've had a lot more issues playing 4K discs than I ever did with Blu-ray discs, and I've watched a lot more Blu-rays than 4Ks. So that's one check mark on the side of Blu-ray over 4K. You're limited as far as players. Blu-ray players are a lot easier to come by. This could be a short-term issue if, you know, you have several Blu-ray players in one 4K player. However, long-term, this is more of an issue because, and the price of them too. So the price of the 4K is more, 4K players is more than the Blu-ray players. You can get Blu-ray players pretty cheap if you just, you know, I've seen them at Goodwill a fair amount of times, and they're just pretty affordable. Even at Walmart, I'd say you can get a Blu-ray player for a lot cheaper than 4K. But in the future, there's going to be a lot more Blu-ray players out there than 4K players. if they do, like, you know, eventually they're going to stop making these players, and the players are harder to come by, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find a 4K player than a Blu-ray player. So, of course, if you can get a combo pack, like, you know, Shout Factory usually does the combo packs. Universal, I think, still does the combo packs. Paramount's going to all combo packs. Definitely prefer the combo pack. I'd like to have the 4K and the Blu-ray, depending on the price, of course. But these companies now, like Arrow Video, they're doing one or the other usually, unless sometimes they'll have the 4K and the Blu-ray if it's like their Steelbook, their limited edition Steelbook. But usually it's just one or the other. Warner Brothers, which is it's really a shame, because sometimes you have an issue with a 4K and it skips and whatnot, and like I'll throw in the Blu-ray that comes with the same set and I'll be able to watch it. But when you just get the 4K, you can't do that. So if you have an issue, I mean, you want to clean the disc well. I find like breathing on it and wiping it with like a cotton or a microfiber or whatever. I find my old soft cotton shirts work well. Not with DVDs though. You know, DVDs will scratch, but with Blu-rays and 4Ks seems to be fine and it works effectively. Now sometimes even if you clean it off, it'll still skip in places. 4K discs just seem to be very finicky, very picky. Now another thing is, I don't see with my equipment, I have like a 60-inch TCL, which at the time it was considered a really good deal when I got it, and one of their upper models. But I mean, now it's, if I wanted to get the best out of the player, or get, you know, the 4K disc, I would probably want to upgrade my player to a player that's $200 or $300. And I'd have to upgrade my TV to something that's a lot better, probably well over $1,000. I'm not even sure. So, and I mean with your system too, with your sound system. So, I mean, with Blu-ray, I feel like I'm getting very good quality with, you know, fairly basic player. And I could be totally wrong, but sometimes you're better off. Once you get up to watching something better, then it's like everything else looks worse. It's like if you play an old video game now, it looks like shit. Whereas back then, these graphics are awesome, type of thing. But I'm happy with what I have. I mean, the movies are crystal clear. I have a, you know, affordable player, solid. I have an old surround sound, which works very effectively. I don't want, you know, I don't need something that's frickin' making the house shake or something, which actually mine probably could if I had it set that way. But it's just like a Sony that I probably paid $200 or $300 for, kind of all-in-one player with a HDMI to the TV and whatnot. I just have a basic 4K player too, so I'm definitely not getting the most out of my 4Ks. But I'd have to invest, I mean, a decent deal of money, more than I want to. I mean, I'm very content with the equipment that I have, the setup that I have. I'm enjoying the movie more for, I guess, of course I want the visuals and the sound to be good, but I'm enjoying the movie more for the movie, the plot, the characters. I still can enjoy the cinematography, even though if I had the best TV, the best player, all those things, I'm sure it would look unbelievable. But to me, what I got now already looks unbelievable. So do I need to invest thousands of dollars into this thing? I don't think so. So again, I'm seeing very minimal difference for me. Now, if people are more picky about those things, that's a different story. And I guess, you know, a lot of people are. I see people, a lot of these reviewers on YouTube and stuff, they're really pushing the 4K. That could be for several reasons. That could be because the companies are wanting them to push it and there's some sort of communication there. Could be part that. It could be that they're seeing other people getting into 4K, and that is influencing them to get into 4K. Maybe they are very particular about what a movie looks and sounds like, and they they are fine with putting thousands and thousands of dollars into it for what I feel is probably minimal, like not that big of a benefit. Like, it's not worth paying that much, and from my point of view. So I mean, there's a bunch of factors going on. Other possible things, I see with reviews on YouTube, I see people getting free stuff, wanting to get free stuff. They're wanting to be influential. So some of that makes it difficult for me too to trust some of the characters we see on here. And they're just, why are they pushing? Some of these people are coming up and pushing 4K so hard when they weren't around for Blu-ray. But Blu-ray, to me, and I'm not sure about all the the research and this and that, but just to the lay person, the DVD to the Blu-ray was a bigger upgrade than the Blu-ray to the 4K. As far as your senses, to my senses anyway, from what I can see and hear, the Blu-ray is where it's at, is where the affordability and quality combination is best at the Blu-ray level. Now, actually buying the disc, it depends. But the equipment is at the Blu-ray level as far as affordability, the ratio, affordability, and quality. You're taking a big jump with the price when you go to 4K, where I think the DVD to Blu-ray, you can actually get Blu-rays cheaper than DVDs. The player's probably around the same price. TVs are cheap now. But the digital codes are where, if you sell digital codes, you're going to be able to get mainstream Blu-rays anyway cheaper than DVDs a lot of the time. So the Blu-ray level for somebody who's really cost conscious, they want quality too, but cost conscious and the combo with quality, it's at the Blu-ray level. Because you can get the movie, you can wait for it to go on sale, you can get the Blu-ray with digital code, you can sell the digital code on these mainstream. Now, when we're talking boutique and there's no digital code involved, it really depends. It really depends, because a lot of times I think you can wait, like during sales, stuff like that, you'll probably pay more for the 4K, but it depends. It depends, like Arrow versus Scream, or Scream/Shout, Kino, like it all kind of depends. So with the different ones, like Kino, I'm usually going with the Blu-ray, because a lot of times the transfers are pretty similar. If the transfer is pretty similar with the Blu-ray, the 4K, they both have a slipcover, I'll pay $10 for the Blu-ray instead of $18 for the possibly just 4K or possibly combo pack, which is another aspect to it. Scream Factory. You're getting to the point where the Blu-rays are still very solid. You can probably get the Blu-ray for around half price-ish, again, depending on the movie. So it's kind of iffy there. And then you'll be able to get the 4K with the slipcover in a combo pack. So say the Blu-ray's $10 with no slipcover, or the combo pack is $20 with slipcover in both. I would probably almost definitely go for the slipcover with the combo pack, because to me, I think it is worth it in that situation. Now again, with Arrow, they're doing different things, like they're having like I talked about earlier in the video, they might have a limited edition steelbook that has the 4K and the Blu-ray, but the regular editions, you're going to have a slipcover Blu-ray version and a slipcover 4K version, and I was going with the slipcover 4K, the prices are pretty darn similar. The Blu-ray will be a few dollars cheaper. But now I'm thinking these 4Ks with slipcovers are selling out. They're going for money. I'll wait. Again, depending on the movie, I might wait and be able to get the Blu-ray for very, very cheap, or the limited edition if it's like one of the hard boxes. The transfer is usually very excellent. It's excellent. Very excellent. It's excellent on the Blu-ray too. And again, if you're stuck with the movie on just 4K, let's say 15 years from now, maybe it's hard to get a 4K player. Your 4K player's not working. It's hard for you to find a 4K player. You might not be able to play that movie, sort of thing. Whereas the Blu-ray, at least for me, I have quite a few Blu-ray players. I can pop the Blu-ray in and I'll enjoy it just as much as I would of the 4K. I mean, so why am I getting the 4K over the Blu-ray? I think part of it's just because, these other people that, are getting the 4K. The 4K is supposed to be better, this and that. But there has been situations where I've gotten the Blu-ray over the 4K, saved a few bucks. I'm going to enjoy the Blu-ray just as much. Let's see, did I hit all my main points with this? I think I did. As far as, again, the 4K disc, they also say that scratches affect 4K discs more, so that's kind of talking about, again, the playback issues with the 4Ks. Even if the disc has no scratches, I've seen it. They have issues. They skip and stuff like that. But if they do have scratches, that's going to affect things more, it seems, than with a regular Blu-ray. I've had minimal issues with some of those light scratches causing issues on the disc. It's happened, but with a 4K disc, it seems to be where if it has something on the disc, the likelihood of it having playback issues is more so than a Blu-ray. So just a lot of factors push me more towards Blu-ray. Now, you have to take a look at, too, an old transfer Blu-ray is different than a newer transfer Blu-ray, too. So you got to take that into consideration. An obvious one would be like Mission Impossible. Those Blu-rays are more so closer to DVDs. They were like some of the early Blu-rays. Now the 4Ks are going to be a big upgrade for like the Mission Impossible movies. So you have to take that into consideration too. Whereas I'm talking about Kino, they're doing the transfers together. They're giving like a 4K restoration. They're putting out the Blu-ray. They're putting out the 4K. I'm not even going to notice the difference with that. With the Mission Impossibles, I will notice a difference. So that's a factor into it too. And when it comes down to it, you got to take it release by release. But like when Arrow puts out the Blu-ray and the 4K, the Blu-ray is going to be excellent. If you got top of the line equipment, is the 4K going to look better? Yeah, I mean it probably will. But you wait for the Blu-ray. These Blu-rays don't sell out too because people are buying the 4Ks. So eventually, these Blu-ray with slipcovers are going to go down in price because the collectors are going to want that 4K. Just wait for the Blu-ray to come down to your price range and snag it. I mean, you can probably end up getting it for $20-15 or whatever. Whereas the 4K is selling more towards $25, $30, maybe more than that, depending. The ones that sell out fast are probably more than $30, like Witness with Harrison Ford. Maybe you could have gotten that for $30 on 4K before it sold out, the limited edition. But I don't know. I think it might have been like $35. And then I was able to get the Blu-ray limited edition for $20, which I probably could have even waited for that. But I think we've had enough in this. We talked enough. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think as far as favorite format or things I talked about as far as the DVD, the Blu-ray, the 4K? What are your thoughts on this? Do you have a preference? Are you going full 4K? It's the best. I'm going all in on 4K. Some people might even be fine sticking with DVD. To me, I gave out the reasons. definitely prefer the Blu-ray over the DVD. But I mean, there's movies that aren't on Blu-ray too. There's movies that only have a DVD. Or maybe you could get the DVD for $1 at Goodwill rather than $20 or whatever online for the Blu-ray. So, you know, there's all those things too. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know. And we will see you next time on PMAC Movies. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, you know, so more people will hopefully watch this video. It'll get all the activity, and it'll make PMAC Movies great again. We'll see you next time on PMAC Movies.